Take a moment. Shut your eyes. Take a deep breath and think about this question. What is peace? I'm willing to guess that thousands of notions about peace just surfaced. Some of you may have thought about big picture, philosophical ideas of peace. Something out there, somewhere, someday. Others may have considered actions, how peace is lived and practiced in the present. This is the beauty of peace. It is personal and intimate. And at the same time, it is something bigger than each of us. There is no one way to define peace, and thus, so many ways to work toward it. While Rotary as an organization has been committed to peace from its very start, peace hasn't always been taken that seriously. But things are changing, and organizations like Rotary, in partnership with organizations like the Institute for Economics and Peace, as you just saw in the video, they're shifting the conversation on just what peace is and isn't, how peace is practiced, and how peace is measured. Instead of simply trying to stop direct violence or negative peace, Rotary has been focused on building positive peace. The attitudes, institutions, and structures that create and sustain peaceful societies. Rotary does this through its very membership, uniting individuals like yourselves in a common cause, and through its 6 areas of focus. Considered through a positive peace lens, all 6 areas of focus are interconnected. They address social, economic, and political factors and relations, and consider the interrelated facets of human development. For example, providing a community with clean drinking water means children are less likely to miss school due to health problems. And education can lead to better job opportunities in the future. Adults are also less likely to miss work and are better able to provide for their families. Fundamental to Rotary's peace work is the Rotary Peace Center and Peace Fellowship Program, Rotary's peace force of more than 1,000 leaders working in more than 100 countries, in non-governmental organizations, large and small, foundations, government, and law enforcement. Peace Fellows like Abdikair Ahmed, a Canadian of Somali origin, who now contributes to making Canada a more welcoming place, advocating for policies that empower refugees and immigrants to achieve their full potential in their new home. Amanda Martin, director of an innovative community transformation center with ETA Projects, a public health organization addressing water, sanitation, and disease prevention in rural Bolivia, working hand in hand with community health promoters and leaders. And Carlos Juarez, who witnessed increasing violence in his hometown of Acapulco, Mexico, organized neighbors to advocate for political action, and now directs the Institute for Economics and Peace office in Mexico. I am proud to be counted among the ranks of these Peace Fellows, each of us with our own area of focus, together cultivating the conditions for peaceful societies to flourish. As for me, I grew up overseas, the daughter of civilians working for the US military, very aware of difference, privilege, and power from a young age. This awareness stayed with me as a university student, and I wanted to do something. In 2004, I volunteered to lead an international service team to Guatemala, and the Rotary Foundation, an organization I had never heard of before, made the trip possible with a volunteer service grant. During my time in Guatemala, I was deeply impacted by a women's textile cooperative Ishakak Hamul, 28 weavers who depended on their earnings to send their kids to school. At their request, a friend and I started a project in the US to sell the weavers' handicrafts at a fair wage. That small project launched my career in international development, inspiring me to advocate for social justice, for small-scale producers, and community-driven development in the Global South. The Guatemala service team led to work with Equal Exchange, a fair trade coffee, tea, and chocolate company, and later in academia with gender studies, nonviolence studies, and leadership studies at Kansas State University, and ultimately with the Asian University for Women in Chittagong, Bangladesh, an institution dedicated to cultivating women leaders. These early career jobs allowed me to experience economic and community development at various levels, from the field to the boardroom to the classroom. But I reached a point where I knew I needed specific skills, knowledge, and connections to go further, to have a deeper impact on a global level. And the Rotary Peace Fellowship provided that opportunity. My master's in International Studies, Peace and Conflict Resolution from the University of Queensland equipped me with the tools necessary to critically analyze and rethink development approaches, to be a more effective practitioner. And upon finishing the fellowship, I was hungrier than ever to be back in the field, preventing conflict and building peace via community-driven development. I joined Coffee Kids, a US-based nonprofit dedicated to improving livelihoods for coffee farming communities in Latin America through health, education, food security, microfinance, and capacity building projects. In my job as International Program Coordinator, I worked one-on-one with grassroots partner organizations to help them implement and measure the impact of projects they themselves designed and carried out. Projects that allowed women like Francesca in Honduras to obtain a microcredit loan to start her own coffee nursery, selling disease-resistant seedlings to neighboring farmers. Or the El